In the quiet valley of Ashenford, where the mist clung to the meadows and the forest loomed like an endless wall of green shadow, Liora lived a simple life. She was a young mother, newly wed, with hair the color of wheat and eyes that often lingered on the horizon as if searching for something lost. Her son had been born during a thunderstorm that rattled the windows and shook the ground, and from the very first breath, he seemed unlike any child she had ever known. The baby's cries were not wails but melodies, soft, sweet notes that floated through the cottage like music. His eyes were pools of silver blue, reflecting torchlight like water, and his skin seemed to shimmer faintly beneath the moon. At first, Liora thought she had simply been blessed with a child touched by grace, but the villagers whispered. They whispered in the marketplace, at the well, and in the churchyard, that is no ordinary child. That is a changeling. She tried to ignore them, though doubt crept in like ivy through stone. When the baby laughed, the flames of the hearth sometimes flared brighter. When he cried, shadows danced unnaturally across the walls. And sometimes, late at night, she could swear she heard voices, soft, lilting songs, floating from the forest beyond her window, as though calling to him. One stormy evening, the village midwife, old Mara, came to Liora's door. The woman was bent with age, her eyes sharp as a crow's. She studied the child in silence for a long while before speaking. "He is not yours, child," Mara said finally, her voice heavy. "The fair folk took your true son. This one they left behind." Liora's heart clenched as if gripped by a cold hand. She had heard the stories all her life of fairies who stole human infants, replacing them with their own, creatures half light, half shadow. Some families abandoned changelings in the forest, hoping their real children would be returned. Others lived forever haunted by the loss. Mara told her the ritual. At midnight, take him to the forest altar, where the old stones lie beneath the yew trees. Leave him there. If the fair folk are merciful, they may give you back your flesh and blood. That night, the rain had ceased, leaving the world dripping and silent. Liora wrapped the baby in a woolen blanket and walked into the forest, her heart pounding with every step. The deeper she went, the quieter the woods grew, until even the wind seemed to hold its breath. At last, she reached the altar, a ring of mossy stones glowing faintly beneath the pale moonlight. She looked down at the child in her arms. His silver blue eyes blinked up at her with innocent wonder. He reached out a tiny hand and touched her cheek, brushing away the tears that had gathered there. His skin was cool, but the touch was gentle, filled with something undeniably human. Love. The air shifted. A strange hum filled the clearing, as if the forest itself had awoken. Between the trees, Liora thought she saw movement, slender shapes, tall and shadowed, watching with unseen eyes. Somewhere in the distance, she heard laughter, high and delicate, like her own child's voice carried on the wind. Her chest ached. Was it true? Was her real son out there, waiting to be returned? All she had to do was lay this child down on the stones, walk away, and perhaps the fair folk would undo what they had done. But as she held him close, she felt the steady rhythm of his breath against her chest, and in that fragile moment, she realized a truth deeper than any tale. They may have stolen my blood, she whispered, clutching him tightly, but they cannot steal my heart. You are mine. The glow of the altar faded. The forest sighed, long and low, as if disappointed yet resigned. The strange figures melted back into the trees, and the night grew still once more. In the distance, the sound of a child's laughter echoed one last time before vanishing into silence. From that night forward, the boy grew with both light and shadow in his smile. He was not like the other children, but he was Liora's. Though the villagers continued to whisper, she no longer listened. Her choice had been made, and love had sealed it, for in her arms, changeling or not, was her son.